little bit more, but Vort versus Ground Zero. We're going to get our first match underway here. The desk feels like it's already a slam dunk win for Ground Zero, James.
Yeah, and I was a part of it, and I can personally attest to that being the case. I think Ground Zero is the heavy favorite on this one. Amphis, seeing him yesterday, great mechanical player. Express had some huge bumps, and Jules, Jules has already made it to the World Championship stage, shown that he really is a true competitor. So this is a stacked team, really, for Ground Zero. It's going to be very difficult for Vort Central to make it past them.
And Jules was somebody I remember, watching way back in the RLCS seasons, back when Oceania first got the bid to the international stage, and seeing him improve over the years, just at his mechanical floor is raised. Every time I've watched Jules, he gets more and more consistent as time goes on. So it's really no surprise to me that he finds himself on one of the top teams over here in Oceania. In Ground Zero, they've been trying to keep midfield on lock. A lot of 50s, but nothing really going the way of Vort. In fact, an attempted shot blocked before it could come out. In Ground Zero, it's a pretty good start.
And and it was a good block from Tango as well, but you're right, Ground Zero setting the tempo, but it hasn't been as dominating as we would have expected. Perhaps Vort Central can sneak a goal in, and this being a best of 5, really, it could get out of hand if they can sneak a couple wins.
Well, I mean, in the third regional, in the playoffs, Vort played against Ground Zero, and that match went 7 games. I think Jake was actually talking about that near the end, right before we got into the match. Snowy's shot was saved by Express. Jules forced into another challenge, but Ground Zero got a little bit of space on defense, so nothing too crazy to worry about for now. Ooh. I like the pressure from Vort. If you can consistently get some hard touches or hard shots towards the backboard or on net, wherever, getting consistent pressure like that, along with this fake from Snowy, trying to roll it around the corner. No consistent pressure for Vort, but that was probably one of the better pushes we've seen out of them in the past 2 minutes.
Yeah, they have been keeping this ball in Ground Zero's half pretty well. Good speed on the challenges, like you said, going for those backboard plays. And they've managed to keep Ground Zero shotless in this first half of the game. Now the first shot coming on, and it's going to be a goal from Amphis. We've been talking a lot about him, and that strike, that was a very nice one. You can see him air rolling right into it, Jorby. Hard hit.
And he's the guy that wants to be striking. He's the guy that Ground Zero love it when he is putting the ball in the back of the net. But mostly, I mean, for Vort on defense, that little bit of space in the attacking third is where they started to get real dicey and trying to dive at a couple of challenges. And Ground Zero took advantage of that weakness on the backboard and got a couple of rebounds. But Vort pick up a demo here. Snowy pushes another one towards the box. This might be a good push for Vort, but Vortexial's going to wait. And the ball right over him and popped up for Amphis.
And a good challenge, but I like what we saw from Vort there, Jorby, going for that demo. Snowy had a bit of space. You wanted to see more from that. He went for the backboard pass instead of going for the shot. I think you want to be greedy there and take the shot, but still, they are not outclassed, getting some opportunities. I like the looks. See if they can convert. Is still looking for that first goal. Vort Central, though, hanging in there.
Well, to add to your point as well, I think if they do just take the shot in that scenario, Ground Zero, they are waiting for that ball. Like, they've felt the passivity from Vort Central when they get on offense, and the unwillingness of that third man to come up and take that next challenge, or even just when it comes to the carry and taking the shot. So if Vort Central change it up and they become a little bit more aggressive by just taking the shot over the pass or the carry, that might start forcing Ground Zero to adapt, and they haven't really had to do much of that. Express long clear downfield, but Vort will get away for now. It's been good enough on defense for Vort. They're getting a couple more pushes here, James, but it's been difficult to hang on to the ball.
And I wanted to see Snowy do more with that. That was a great pass, and he let it roll up the side of the wall, but wasn't able to do much there. Perhaps the nerves getting to him. This is a rare situation. The top 8 single elimination. Jake said you don't see it very often in OCE. And so that clutch factor going to be at play. You have no lives left. Swiss, you had that triple elimination to rely on. This time, today, you lose, you're out.
Especially here in the quarterfinals when the match might feel a little tighter in a playoff situation, a best of 5. Vort, one more chance at the net. The shot, no, it was blocked by Express. A favorable bounce to maybe give one more chance for Vort. That's going to be a tough touch to contend with. It will stay in the air, but Vort going to take a lot of work to get this ball downfield, and Snowy actually got it, but not the way you wanted to go, and Snowy can't keep it up. Ground 0 will take the first game.
Ground 0, it was a close one. Only shot we saw going was the shot from Amphis, and it was a well-struck shot. They did very well on that single shot. It was the only shot.
One shot.
That Ground 0 took that game. Vort Central had multiple opportunities, Jorby, but you know, I think you're right. You said they were a bit timid, especially that third man, afraid to come up, take that strike. And, you know, when you're going up against a Ground 0 team at this point in the tournament, you just have to go out there and play as fast as you can and go for it. And Vort Central, they had some possession. They had opportunities. The striking, though, not there. Snowy, I thought, particularly had multiple chances where I would have wanted to see him do more with that. So Vort Central, if they can keep generating those chances, that's good. But now we'll have to see what kind of finishes they can bring to the table, because Ground 0, that's really what they specialized in, especially Amphis. He had one shot and he put it away.
Yeah, and for Snowy, he had a couple of carries that he was a bit shaky on, but I felt like the boost was more of a factor in those situations where you're going a little fast, you don't have enough boost to really maintain speed, and a challenge is coming. But he's constantly looking, around the ball to see how he can maneuver around. And I love that type of player that's always thinking about where to go with the ball or what's the optimal play on the ground. And you can come up with some incredible ground plays that way. Jules almost came up with a double tap, but just a little off the mark on the ball.
But those ground plays, they require so much vision and also awareness of how quickly opposing players can get to you and get that challenge. It's a rare skill. A lot of players play 1v1 to build that skill up. But in threes, it can be a difference maker. We've seen players like Chaussette be able to really do wonders, and even Astral be able to make that ground game work for them. But it's so hard when you have this many players on the field.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially, that first man role, so many players approach that role as I'm just going to drive fast, get a favorable challenge, or just do my best to not completely lose or miss the ball, and then let second and third man clean things up, and then we'll just rotate. But when you do have that kind of difference maker, like an Astral, like you were saying, James, or even on this team, like Amphis when he pulls it up, or Snowy when he's able to carry the ball, it makes a world of a difference for the second and third man. Oh, but wait a minute, Snowy gonna take it, and again, that low boost situation, that first touch just a little off, but he's getting a little closer every time.
And I like the continued opportunities for Vort Central. They're playing really well. They're playing really well. Snowy in those shooting opportunities. They're getting quality demos even on the attack. We've seen Amphis shut down for the most part in this game.
Yeah. Ooh, nice pickup by Snowy. He'll pick up the goal, and Snowy snipes the ball out from Express, and Vort got the lead.
And that was a nice challenge, but that first touch right there, it's exactly what we were talking about. Slowing that play down. Snowy didn't just make a panicked hit. That first touch was the setup. That's what you want to see from a good striker. The vision was there, recognizing his space, recognizing his opportunity, and really doing wonderful, making the most out of a tough situation there. It was a team bump, and he was still able to flip it to that ball.
That was awesome. He was like, yeah, I'm going to stay in the air for as long as possible here. Oh, that shot going to be... Oh, Express picks up the goal. I thought the orange car had the save, but no, Express.
And that was a good setup from Amphis. That flick that he had, it wasn't really enough to be a pass, but It forced out an awkward touch from Tango, and Express was able to clean up from it. So Amphis, you saw him drive in front of the ball. He only had 11 boosts, so he didn't really have enough boost to get the ball up from the front. So what does he do? Drives in front of it. Now he's getting a double tap. That was nasty from Amphis. He's starting to hit his stride.
Definitely the playmaker. Amphis, 2 touches, easy for him. He shows off his passing skills, a little flick action for a goal, and now throws in a double tap for good measure, ground 0, and Amphis is feeling it. Well, what's that going to do to Vort, James? Because they were already playing timid at the start of this match. But, and Amphis is feeling it. They see it. They're flat on defense, waiting for that shot to come.
It honestly seems like Amphis is starting to gain his confidence. Tango, a big demo, but a hard shot from Express. Ooh. But I mean, ground 0, when you have Amphis playing that well, he almost hit another double tap. He was close to making that work. It's going to be tough for Vort Central to really do anything if Amphis can keep making these types of plays.
Honestly, it's really good speed on defense overall from ground 0, James. I think that this has been probably one of the biggest differences between the top 3 in Oceania versus the rest of the field, is that the boost management and overall poise on defense seems to be one of the biggest factors to me, and specifically managing your boosts when you have to play some extended defense. But ground 0, they're really good at keeping them short, finding the clears in the gaps, making quick reads. Their reads are just generally a little bit faster, and that affords them some opportunities like that for Jules, who just popped up right under the shot to make the save.
But I love that play from Tango. And we're seeing many demos. I think that's been working out really well for Vort Central, is going for the demos on ground 0 when they're in Vort Central's half. Vort Central has been able to turn away some attacks that way. And then Tango, that flick, the dribble to bring it downfield, almost got the dish goal. I love the fight out of Vort Central, but they're still down by 1. And ground 0, they've been looking like the better team, but they haven't shut the door on Vort Central yet.
Vort definitely still on lock right now. The defense has been good enough. Tango tasked again, but he was first to the ball. Now a play develops out of nowhere. Pass in front, shot denied. Still Vort Hunt, another shot too light. Jules will pick up the save, but it forced a double commit out of ground 0. Now they're gonna have to wait for a rebound. They'll get it for now, but as long as this ball stays up high in the air, the longer you wait, the more chance Vort have in midfield to get set up. They get set right now here with 30 seconds to go.
This is a fantastic attacking play from Vort Central. They've had such good possession, but that 2v1 situation, they should have scored in that. That was their main chance. It's going to be tough now to battle back.
Ooh, that clear might help them out. Off the rebound, it came clean. And crucial touch from Amphis. Nobody from Vort were ready for that touch. And now the task just got that much more difficult. Express behind the ball, assures victory. 3-1, ground 0, take it from Vort.
Yeah, that's case closed for Express. The air dribble, you can see him bringing that around. The defense panics a bit, helps him out. But Express got around that ball nicely using air roll. That air roll button, so important. Express showed us that he's got that in his toolkit.
Yeah, the air roll button, probably the most loved button in all of Rocket League, James. You know what? Boost number 1, air roll number 2. I don't think anybody likes air roll.
The directional air roll, though, Jorby. The air roll right or left. I don't know. I've been really trying to work on that in my own game, but Express making it look so easy. That lets you make those little micro adjustments in the air, especially on air dribbles. It helps you out big time. But as we take a look at the recap of this game, it seemed like Vort Central might have enough to get the win, but then Amphis popped off, getting those big plays. First, that flick that ended up in an awkward touch that led to a goal, and then the double tap right away from him, and then Express getting that air dribble. So ground 0, they've just got too many tools in the toolkit, it feels like, Jorby.
Yeah, Vort are having problems establishing a rhythm on offense. And, you know, the best part of a rhythm is the downbeat, James. But Vort never get to the downbeat. The play dies as soon as they get to that point where you're like, oh, Vort, they put together a really great possession here. Here comes the finishing touch, and then nobody's there. Or nobody could take that challenge. Or the follow-up, nobody was ready for it. And so they have to find that rhythm. And it can be difficult with how well Ground Zero have played overall on defense. We'll see if they can crack the nut. They got one more chance in game 3.
Shooting chance for Snowy, and he'll come up short. And Snowy, I criticized him in game 1, wanting to see more from those shot opportunities that he was getting. And he had a very lovely goal last game. That first touch setting up his shot on net.
Yeah,
Vort Central. And then, Jorby, you were talking about it's like waiting for a drop in a song. Uh-oh.
Well,
I saw Express flip right past that.
Oh, no. Express has no boost. He's trying to pick up each dime. He missed the one on the way back, flips to get 2 more, and it's like, uh-oh. Yeah, I feel you, Express. We've all been there, man. We'll give you that one 30 seconds in. Poor guy.
But yeah, Jorby, it seems like for Vort Central, they are. It's like a dubstep song where you're waiting for the drop, and it just never hits.
Oof. Those are the teasers are the worst ones. But Vort, you know, they start with a lead, which is something that they haven't really been able to do. Look at that passive play. Oh, Jules, he cut off the
so
angle.
Good.
Yeah, but Jules got in the way, and it's still almost completed. I thought they had it. Look, another win. Oh, look how aggressive. The first man just goes downfield, takes the ball out. Vort wants to score so badly, but the shot isn't on target. A lot of great setups. Here's a pitch. It might bounce for Snowy, and no, blocked by Amphis. No goal for Vort. Ooh.
Again, close calls. See how good the defense is for Vort Central. This is it for them. This is tournament life. They lose this one. Ground Zero moving on, and now the shot. Oh, Jules. He'll get credit. Amphis never even touched it, but the defense was scrambling, trying to prevent the shot.
Oh. And it was Tango. He got caught creeping up a little too far. Though, to give him a little bit of benefit, you know, as he was coming up, he was definitely expecting that there to be a clean challenge. And not a laser ball towards his net. But either way, creeping up has killed Vort on a couple of possessions. It kills them here. The one thing I really like from Vort that we've obviously touched on a couple times is just their willingness to go down and get the ball, or be willing to just go down to be available for a pass. And then Vort, they obviously want to get that go-ahead pass, James, which can be so deadly from your own half. Especially, you know, counterattacks seem to be very effective in that respect against any team here with Ground Zero, or even Renegades can be suspect to it. But Vort, those quick passes, they've really put Ground Zero in a position where they have to adapt, but they're still missing that final beat, James.
I mean, we've seen them make brilliant passes, finding each other, but again, it has to have that finishing strike. Otherwise, oh, there you go. Amphis showing us exactly how it's done. Express putting this one off the ceiling, and the give and go working out nicely. I love that play. Amphis finding Express knowing Amphis is going to be following it up. That's how you do it.
Yeah, it's a pre-flip gang moment for Amphis. It was real pretty. And that's been what Vort have been missing. They've been missing an Amphis level impact of a player that you could consistently rely on putting the ball on target. And Ground Zero are looking for a couple more. Amphis hopping in front. And they'll keep Vort Central at bay. One goal got away from Express, but since then, very stout on defense.
Yeah, it's a bit of a diamond in the rough situation for Vort Central. Whereas Ground Zero already looked like a fine piece of jewelry. Especially Amphis.
Ooh.
Another good pass. Easy goal for Express. Amphis doing so much damage with this.
Yeah, it's a great carry. See, he gets it on his hood, so he keeps control. He doesn't want that first or that second touch when he's close to the backboard. You hit that with your bumper, you really don't have any chance to control it in a meaningful way. So instead, air rolling down to make sure it pops onto his hood, less power that way, and now you can at least sandwich it on the backboard and make it an awkward touch for any defender who's at least expecting a rebound. And that's the big difference in Oceania, James, that I've seen is that, you know, if you can possess the ball like Amphis does, or if you can carry the ball like an Amphis can, you're going to find a lot of success. And I feel like that's a big reason why Ground Zero find themselves where they do, with a 3-1 lead and a minute remaining.
I mean, Amphis, he has been able to make some high-impact plays from utilizing that space, Jorby, and even a few times we've seen him take his time, but that shot, that was a tough angle for Snow. He almost made it work. But yeah, Amphis, anytime he can find that space, which you're going to be able to find a lot of, at least or it seems like for Amphis, that's what makes him so effective.
Cool. And Vort continuing to look for those downfield passing plays, but they can't get the ball around Amphis, even on no boost. Still trying to make some flash, but with this amount of time left and Ground Zero are passing the ball really effectively around Vort. Vort really have just been able to manage survival, and that survival is slowly coming to an end. With about 10 seconds left, Vort need nothing short of a miracle. Here's a pass in front. Good shot, but saved by Amphis, who was all over the pitch in Game 3, closed out the set for Ground Zero and moving on to the semifinals.
Yeah, that was a great all-around series from Amphis. Even this last game, the plays, putting on so much pressure, getting up in the air, forcing those rebounds high above the net, and then also those saves. Great game from him. Also Express, rock solid. Jules just had to play. You know, Amphis, Express, they were popping off this game. Jules, rock solid as well. Not really many mistakes. Fort Central, they looked good in the midfield. They looked really good, but they just could not find the strike. They couldn't find that finishing potential that they're really going to need to sort out if they hope to challenge the big three in OCE.
I definitely think the tools are there for Vort, but they'll have to try again next time. Coming up next, how far can Hazard Esports climb the bracket ladder? They're going to have to get by Cringe Society first, see if they can after the break.